Hey, it's Candace, and I'm calling women higher. My goal is to empower you to become the woman that you are meant to be and live a life that you love. I am so glad that you're here, so let's dive in. What is up? I'm so glad that you're here for today's episode because today we're going to talk about getting unstuck. So often we feel stuck in our life, in our routine, in our habits, and that's normal, that's natural. It's pretty common human behavior to continue doing the same things you've always done because that's the way you always did them. And so where you're at right now is because that's how you were raised, that's how the people around you influenced you to be, right? Going back to that stories we tell ourselves video. But what's cool is that we can now change that, and you can change your habits, you can change your routine, you can change your life, but that starts by taking action steps to getting unstuck. And so I want to start with some super simple steps that you can take to getting unstuck. And the most incredible piece of advice that I have heard as far as getting unstuck is to wake up and brush your teeth with the opposite hand. That simple action alone is going to rewire your brain, or start to rewire your brain, to really take a look at everything that you're doing. Because so often we're living our life on autopilot. You're autopiloting through your morning routine, your drive to work on autopilot, wondering like, how did I even get here, right? Because you are on autopilot. And when you're on autopilot, you have absolutely no a real-time awareness of the fact that you are choosing to continue to do these habits that might not be serving you anymore. So not only is brushing your teeth with a different hand really good, but also taking a new route to work. Maybe there are two roads that you can take outside of your house. You take one normally every single time. Consciously make the decision to take a new route to work. That's going to automatically make you more aware of the choices that you're making throughout the day because you won't be living on autopilot. You've never been that way, or you rarely been that way. And so simple things like that are going to be huge when it comes time to start making those big steps. Something that I recently learned about feeling stuck in your life is that chances are you know what you need to do to get unstuck, but either fear is holding you back or you're procrastinating. It's either a change that you know you need to make, that you know you want to make, but you're scared to do it, and so then you start procrastinating. Or it's a conversation that you know you need to have and you're avoiding it. So fear, procrastination, and avoidance are the main things keeping you stuck in a life that you probably really don't love. And that means the next step to getting unstuck is to do that thing. Have that conversation. You might actually really love the job that you're in, but you might need a new schedule. But you're also afraid to have that conversation with your boss because you might get fired. I'm pretty sure you're not going to get fired, but it can also be very hard to advocate for yourself. So I'm here to encourage you. It's time to have that conversation. Or you might have been scrolling Indeed looking for a new job and there's one that you really like, but you're not sure you're qualified. Go apply. The worst thing they can tell you is no, but if you don't take that leap into a new direction, into a new step, you're never gonna know. The next thing is that business you've been waiting to get started on the side, or that girl you've been waiting to join on social media with her online business. It's time. You know you need to do it. You know it's going to lead to great things. You might not know exactly what those things are, but I promise you, the life that you love is on the other side of everything that you're avoiding because of your fear. And that's normal. Avoidance, fear, procrastination, those are all really normal human behaviors because our brain doesn't want to get uncomfortable. Our brain wants to be on autopilot through life because getting uncomfortable is scary. And if you think about it, being on autopilot and knowing that you're safe, that's how we survived all these years. But in 2023, if we go out or we take a new direction on the way to work, we're not going to get eaten by a bear. So there's nothing really to be scared of. It's time to take that new direction and make these moves in your life. My next biggest tip to getting unstuck is to move out of your hometown. And you're probably like, whoa, that's really serious. I don't know about that. The biggest way to grow is to get uncomfortable. And there is nothing that is going to make you more uncomfortable than moving to maybe a town that you've never been to, but I would even challenge you to move to a completely different state. Because when you move to a completely different state, everything about your life is changed. Your job is changed, your new way to work is changed, your new grocery store routine is changed. How many of you absolutely cannot stand when you go to a grocery store in a different part of town and the layout isn't the same because you can't find anything? Or when the grocery store reorganizes because you can't find anything? That's because you're on autopilot. So when you force yourself to move to a completely new place, everything about your routine is called into question. And that's a really, really good opportunity to become the person that you want to be. Because chances are the person that you've been all of this time is that same person living in your hometown. And it's scary to just step out and be a new person when everybody that lives in your hometown knows you and they know who you are. And I use air quotes with that because you can literally change your mind and be a completely new person right after this video. There's nothing keeping you the same person that you are except for habits that you built and fear of what other people are going to think. But when you move to a new state, nobody knows you. It's literally like starting fresh, and you can show up as whoever you want to be. But I'm here to encourage you that regardless if you take smaller steps like brushing your teeth with a new hand or taking a new way to work or applying for that new job or starting that new business, or you even go as far as to moving to a completely new state, you're going to feel resistance and you're going to feel fear. When you start to become unstuck, you start to evolve as a person, and part of you is dying. And it could almost be a little bit of a grieving process, grieving who you once were to become who you need to become to live a life that you love. It's okay to feel scared. Fear is a good thing. It means you're moving forward. It is okay to step into the unknown. And it is okay if everyone in your life thinks you're crazy and has no idea what you're doing, because your dream was placed on your heart for you. I don't have to know what you're doing. It doesn't have to make sense to me. Your spouse, it doesn't have to make sense to him. Your mom, it doesn't have to make sense to her. It just has to make sense to you. And if you have a dream on your heart, if you know what you need to do to get unstuck, but you're letting fear, procrastination, and avoidance keep you stuck, that's normal. But that dream is on your heart because you have the ability to make it a reality. So get out there, get unstuck, take that next step, and live a life that you love. But that starts by getting unstuck. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope that this helps. And if you're the one feeling stuck, tag me on Instagram at Calling Women Higher. And if you have a friend who's feeling stuck, share this video with her and let her know that it is okay to feel stuck, but it's time to get unstuck. So I'll see you guys next time.